Most people have this dream of living on an organic farm on the North Shore of Kauai. Usually when they have that dream, they buy a beautiful home on some acreage and they love it, but there's not a ton of farming going on. But with Lawrence and Irene, they are actually running a farm.
Come away with Annie to Kauai.
Life is short. Buy the beach house, live the dream. I'm here with my friends Lawrence and Irene on their beautiful property in Kilauea. It's about 2.5 acres. And I love what they've done. I love what they're doing. But when they first bought this property, it had over 200 ironwoods and it was like a dark cavern. And they've kind of brought it back to what it would have been like without those. And
we moved here May of 2018. Ah, that was different.
their plan was to come and snorkel and go to the beach every day. And instead, in the last year, how many tons of fruit have you guys sold?
We haven't totaled it all up.
It'd be in the thousands.
I would say that we probably sold over 7,000 pounds.
That sounds right to me.
Fruit.
I really also love that you guys you're not going to the farmers markets, you're selling them to restaurants and Healthy Hut and, it's Kilauea Bakery. It's getting out into the community.
We have been coming to Kauai since 2008.
Okay.
And each time we stayed longer and longer until we were maxed out at like 2 weeks, twice a year. And so then it became a dream.
Yeah.
It was our dream. It was, how do we get to be there all the time?
Right.
And we loved the aloha feeling that this island has. I had a special feeling even before I knew him when I was here another time. And that special feeling, I was hoping he would feel when he came. And he did. So then it was okay, and we pictured we'd be hiking and we'd be snorkeling and we'd be reading a book on the beach. And
I mean, that's the dream, right? At least one of them.
And we did want some land, and we thought, oh great, we can walk out, we can get breakfast, we can have a papaya, and we can have a banana, and blah blah blah. And then we saw how productive the land was.
Right.
And it really only seemed like it was the right thing to do. The right thing to do.
We have dragon fruit, which is actually a cactus. When they fruit, then we also, at a certain point, when they start to get some red, because they're green when they start, we need to bag them, and that protects them, the low ones, from the chickens.
Dragon fruit bloom for one night, and that's it. And they're these huge, beautiful blossoms, right? And that's when they pollinate and everything else. Lawrence and Irene have invited me out here, and it's amazing. And I think I've seen 100 to 200 blooms in one night.
These guys are not quite ready to be harvested. They still have a bit of a hard edge. These little guys down here that you might see, this is what became up above a banana.
This is about medium size for our Meyer lemons, but they get so big here. A lot of times they'll weigh half a pound. This is pretty much the end of the season. We were selling 30 pounds every week. That's just from those two trees.
Yeah.
That one and that one.
Use a picker to get these down. They're green now, so they're not ready. When they get some yellow on them, then it's good to take them down. If you look, you'll see some stumps because they have about a 3-year lifespan. Then they start to kind of narrow out. They don't get fruit. They get tiny fronds and leaves. When you understand these different things, you begin to understand the term malama aina, which means respect the land. Do what should be done by the land. And it's a big thing on the island.
We have 4 orange trees. So there's 3 in a row, and there's this one. That's probably half a pound right there. The ponytail palms are kind of unique. I'd never seen anything like this before. And they're also called elephant foot. You can see why. So this is known as jabong here, but on the mainland it's known as pomelo.
So the sugarloaf pineapple are currently only grown on Kauai, and they're acid free, so you don't have problems with your mouth. And they're super sweet, so we love a sugarloaf pineapple. Also, these sell for like $18 to $20, and it's a lot more than the $3 Costco pineapple. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But worth it. So this is a row of longan trees. They are brown on the round shell, but other than that, they look like a lychee, and they taste very similar. 9 mango trees, and luckily, we went to the mango festival here on the island, and we found out that it's a really good thing to take the banana fronds and stalks that we've cut when we harvested and put them around the mangoes. They like that as a fertilizer.
You look down here and you see this curved papaya tree. So it wouldn't grow naturally like this. This is the result of the almost hurricane. Most of the time they say, hey, it fell over, get rid of it, take your machete to it. Well, I did a little checking and I found that some of the ones that went over, they still had the taproot going in and some others. So I left them. And this one has been producing fruit ever since. And then you'll see that here's one laying on the ground. Now this one did not go over in 19. It went over a few days ago because it had reached its lifespan. Everything, for the most part here on the farm, has a lifespan. You know, I didn't grow up being a farmer.
I was like, what?
But I spent a lot of decades in film and television and stage production, and I was always good at improvising. So that's what I have left on the farm from my film experience, is improvising and fixing things and making it work in the moment. This is all lilikoi that's growing here, and it's growing over stuff that I've collected from metal waste to repurpose it to hold up things like the lilikoi. This is what tells you that it's a male papaya. It's not going to fruit, but you don't know when you plant them when they're small until they're about, well, for me, eyeball level. Then they start telling you who they are. So this is going to end up getting pulled out of the ground, and I'll put another one in and we'll see what it turns out to be. These little blossoms that become the fruit. Hopefully that one will, that I just knocked off. Looks like it's got a little start maybe. And then soon it will match this one. And these are going to be easy access. Don't need a ladder.
It's good. A little tart, but I like it.
So this is a young, not ripe eggfruit. And it's called eggfruit because, like, unlike most tropical fruit, the flesh inside is the texture of a hard-boiled egg yolk, not juicy like one would expect from tropical fruit. Its botanical name is canistel. It's loaded with vitamins, and one of the things you can do with it is use it as a thickener in a smoothie as opposed to a banana, or just spread it on toast. It'll be yellow. It'll be a nice golden yellow when it's ripe, and the flesh inside will be yellow as well. So one of the things that we do with egg fruit is bag them, because chickens will go after them. They love them.
And I like the going up and the coming down slow. And there she is, ready to eat. or ready to sell.
This is Noni, N-O-N-I, and it's very nutrient rich. It has a lot of antioxidants, and kids who grew up on the island, natives, were forced to eat this every day. Some of them eat it like an apple. But if you ferment this in a jar, what seeps out after a month is supposed to be really full of all of those antioxidants, and it's also been called anti-cancerous as of about 5 years ago. Kilauea Bakery just started buying 150 pounds of this from us every 2 months, and then they process it and they sell it mixed with juice in bottles. Lawrence likes to tease people, and so he will say, gee, you want to try this fruit? And I usually stop and I say, smell it first. And then people decide, no, I don't want to eat this.
I'm gonna be brave enough to smell it. Okay, here's the Noni. I can kind of get a whiff just from here. It's not pleasant. That one I did smell. More than just rotting fruit. It's more like a dead animal.
So this is called a Rollinia tree, and we got it at Arbor Day for free. That's something that happens on this island. And it's supposed to produce fruit that tastes like lemon custard. So we haven't gotten the fruit yet, but we're excited. We're waiting.
We have a number of coconut trees, and more coconuts than we can count or that we know what to do with.